المتكبر الخالق البارئ المصور الغفار القهار الوهاب الرزاق الفتاح العليم القابض الباسط الخافض الرافع المعز المذل السميع البصير الحكم العدل اللطيف الخبير الحليم العظيم الغفور الشكور العلي الكبير الحفيظ المبين الحسيب الجليل الكريم الرقيب المجيب الواسع الحكيم الودود المجيد الباعث الشهيد الحق الوكيل القوي المتين الولي الحميد المحسن المبدئ المعيد المحيي المميت الحي القيوم الواجد الماجد الواحد الصمد القادر المقتدر المقدم المؤخر الأول الآخر الظاهر الباطن الوالي المتعالي البر التواب المنتقم العفو الرؤوف مالك الملك ذو الجلال والإكرام المقسط الجامع الغني المغني المانع النافع النور الهادي البديع الباقي الوارث الرشيد الصبور الذي ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير اللهم صل أفضل صلاة على أسعد مخلوقاتك سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم عدد معلوماتك ومداد كلماتك كلما ذكرك الذاكرون وغفل عن ذكره الغافلون أسألك يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق البارئ المصور الغفار القهار الوهاب الرزاق الفتاح العليم القابض الباسط الخافض الرافع المعز المذل السميع البصير الحكم العدل اللطيف الخبير الحليم العظيم الغفور الشكور العلي الكبير الحفيظ المبين الحسيب الجليل الكريم الرقيب المجيب الواسع الحكيم الودود المجيد الباعث الشهيد الحق الوكيل القوي المتين الولي الحميد المحسن المبدئ المعيد المحيي المميت الحي القيوم الواجد الماجد
اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وغينا حتى تسكنوا أرضك توعا وتمتعوا فيها طويلا بجاه محمد وإترته الطاهرين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحانك يا الله تعاليت يا رحمن أجرنا من النار يا مجيب. سبحانك يا رحيم تعاليت يا كريم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ملك تعالى يا مالك أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قدوس تعاليت يا سلام أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مؤمن تعاليت يا مهيمن أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا عزيز تعاليت يا جبار أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا متكبر تعاليت يا متجبر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا خالق تعاليت يا بارئ أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مصور تعاليت يا مقدر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا هادي تعاليت يا باقي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا وهاب تعاليت يا تواب أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا فتاح تعاليت يا مرتاح أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا سيدي تعاليت يا مولاي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قريب تعاليت يا رقيب أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مبدئ تعاليت يا معيد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حميد تعاليت يا مجيد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قديم تعاليت يا عظيم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا غفور تعاليت يا شكور أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا شاهد تعاليت يا شهيد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حنان تعاليت يا منان أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا باعث تعاليت يا وارث أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا محيي تعاليت يا مميت أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا شفيق تعاليت يا رفيق أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا أنيس تعاليت يا مونس أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا جليل تعاليت يا جميل أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا خبير تعاليت يا بصير أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حفي تعاليت يا منير أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا معبود تعاليت يا موجود أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا غفار تعاليت يا قهار أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مذكور تعاليت يا مشكور أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا جواد تعاليت يا معاذ أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا جمال تعاليت يا جلال أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا سابق تعاليت يا رازق أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا صادق تعاليت يا فالق أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا سميع تعاليت يا سريع أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا رفيع تعاليت يا بديع أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا فعال تعاليت يا متعال أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قاضي تعاليت يا قاضي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قاهر تعاليت يا طاهر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا عالم تعاليت يا حاكم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا دائم سبحانك يا دائم تعاليت يا قائم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا عاصم تعاليت يا قاسم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا غني تعاليت يا مغني أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا وفي تعاليت يا قوي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا كافي تعاليت يا شافي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مقدم تعاليت يا مؤخر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا أول تعاليت يا آخر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ظاهر تعاليت يا باطن أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا رجاء تعاليت يا مرتجى أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ذا المن تعاليت يا ذا الطول أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حي تعاليت يا قيوم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا واحد تعاليت يا أحد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا سيد تعاليت يا صمد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قدير تعاليت يا كبير أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا والي تعاليت يا متعالي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا علي تعاليت يا أغلى أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ولي تعاليت يا مولى أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا زارع تعاليت يا بارئ أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا خافض تعاليت يا رافع أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مقسط تعاليت يا جامع أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا معز تعاليت يا مذل أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حافظ سبحانك يا حافظ تعاليت يا حفيظ أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا قادر تعاليت يا مقتدر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا عليم تعاليت يا حليم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا حكم تعاليت يا حكيم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا معطي تعاليت يا مانع أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ضار تعاليت يا نافع أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مجيب تعاليت يا حسيب أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا عادل تعاليت يا فاصل أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا لطيف تعاليت يا شريف أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا رب تعاليت يا حق أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ماجد تعاليت يا واحد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا عفو تعاليت يا منتقم أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا واسع تعاليت يا موسع أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا رؤوف تعاليت يا عتوب أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا فرد تعاليت يا وتر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مقيت تعاليت يا محيط أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا وكيل تعاليت يا عادل أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مبين تعاليت يا متين أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا بر تعاليت يا ودود أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا رشيد تعاليت يا مرشد أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا نور تعاليت يا منور أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا نصير تعاليت يا ناصر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا صبور تعاليت يا صابر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا محصي تعاليت يا منشي أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا سبحان تعاليت يا ديان أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا مغيث تعاليت يا غياث أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا فاطر تعاليت يا حاضر أجرنا من النار يا مجير سبحانك يا ذا العز والجمال تباركت يا ذا الجبروت والجلال سبحانك لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين فاستجبنا له ونجيناه من الغم وكذلك ننجي المؤمنين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين وحسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم
صلوات على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all our prayers inshallah and give us the ability to complete and finish this month with fasting and prayers. Tonight, as an exception from the sister side, we have a representer, a short poem for a few minutes, Sister Fatima Al-Ammara has prepared a poem. I ask all of our sisters and brothers to please help us out with their silence and pay attention. I'm sure that Sister Al-Ammara has put a lot of efforts to this poem, and I'm sure that she's going to be fine. So let's hear to her poem, inshallah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Every year on Ramadan 15, we remember an Imam who had a big impact on the deen. The beloved Imam, son of Fatima, Imam Hassan, grew under the Prophet's care. That is where he learned how to always fight for justice and to be fair. That is where he learned how to During Mubahala, the Prophet brought his family by Allah's command. Amongst them was Imam al-Hassan. Next to the Prophet he would stand. Like his father, in the night he would give charity. In the morning he would gather people to help them and give them clarity. He was an Imam who followed the command of his father, but when he was really young, he lost his mother. Like his father and grandfather, he was devoted to his religion. He had an amazing ambition. It was to make sure that this ummah would stay in the belief of Allah. And even in the hardest times, this man still decided to sacrifice for this deen, for the mu'mineen, for the Nabi, for Ali. He deserved the title Al-Mujtaba, the same way his father deserved the title Al-Murtada, the guide to the straight path and wali, the eldest son of Al-Hadi, whose face shined so bright with the Quranic light. Who would not want to honor such a person who sacrificed his life for us Muslims? Even when everyone betrayed him, he was certain to save this deen. That is who we call Kareem. So let's honor such a man and send our salams to Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam. Allahumma salam.
Thank you so much, Sister Fatima Al-Ammara, for reminding me. I totally forgot. I should have congratulated everyone at the beginning of program. Congratulations upon the birthday of our second Imam, Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And we will move on with our program on the second session. Very quick about reminders and announcements. Please see Brother Zai Amili and make sure, and Brother Said Razak, and make sure that you are paid with your monthly pledges, you're up to date. And if, God forbid, if you are behind, please make sure to bring them up to date. And if you can boost it up a little bit this month, it would be greatly appreciated. We are here every night. We are incurring a lot of expenses. So, and this is where we have to cover all of those expenses with your monthly pledges, inshallah. With that being said, please help us to keep our masjid clean as much as possible, inside, in the parking lot, and restrooms. And with that being said, Ajaga Mudarris talked about virtue part 2 last night. For the past 2 nights, Ajaga Mudarris has been talking about virtue or taqwa. Last night, Ajaga Mudarris mentioned that according to Imam Ali alayhi salam, there are 3 signs of a person who has taqwa. And what are those? The first one, people who say the truth regardless of the outcome. Second, moderation in their style. Thank you very much. And third, humbleness and attitude. Those are the 3 signs. Of course, taqwa has a lot more, but these are the 3 main signs according to Imam Ali alayhi salam. And tonight's speech under rules of life, Ajaga Mudarris will talk about God consciousness, inshallah. میریم و از محضر وجهت الاسلام و المسلمین آقای مدرس استفاده میکنیم. سرسلامتی خودتان و آقای مدرس صلوات غرای ختم بفرمایید عزیزان. اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد. Just as a reminder, the Slido, if you have any questions regarding the speech or ahkam for Ajaga Mudarris, please post it to Slido. The code is Rasool, R-A-S-O-O-L, and Ajaga Mudarris will go over those questions Fridays and Saturdays, inshallah.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's remember all the marhumin, all of our family members, community members, in this blessed month with recitation of Surah Fatiha and Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد. Before I start, let me just make an announcement regarding Eid, because you say, why now? Half of Ramadan is gone. So tomorrow is 15th of Ramadan. And I don't know, for some of you maybe it seems very slow that every day that has passed, but life goes on. And 15 days of Ramadan has passed, 14 days of it, and we have almost approaching the nights of Qadr. Of course, there's a night of Qadr, but probable nights of Qadr. And one thing that, alhamdulillah, this year it's a good news is that the chances are that we know when Eid will be based on moon position. So if you want to get a day off, alhamdulillah, right now in advance, you can. Because there's a high probability that April 21st, which is a Friday, will be Eid al-Fitr, because moon sighting on April 20th in California under clear condition, and many other neighboring states, it's possible. And also because month of Sha'ban was 30 days, the chances are this month will be 29. People in the East Coast, they have some story going on. I don't know what happens to them. New York and I think Toronto and that area, they have some interesting time coming for them. California, we're usually the one who's victim of this. We don't know what's going to happen for us. This year, table turned, and it's their turn to go through this limbo state of not knowing what happens. So if you want to get a day off and be inshallah for the Eid namaz, April 21st has a high likely chance of being Eid. And you say why we don't do this every year? Because at the end of the day it's about moon sighting. I'm not changing the rule. The rule is the same, that moon has to be sighted, seen by the naked eye. And based on probability, that is possible on Thursday 20th. So get a day off on 21st, inshallah, and plan accordingly. فارسی هم میشه که بر اساس مسائل نجوم و جایگاه ماه احتمال بسیار زیاد 21 اپریل که جمعه خواهد بود، روز عید فطر است. اگر میخواین روز آف بگیرین، از همین الان برنامه‌ریزی کنین که عید فطر است، هم در نماز عید باشیم، هم استفاده کنیم از فرصتی که در عید فطر هست. 21 اپریل احتمال بسیار زیاد عید خواهد بود، چون ماه در پنجشنبه شب دیده خواهد شد، در حالتی که هوا صاف باشه. اگر الان مام نبینیم، بغل ما هم ببیند، نمیدونم آریزونا هم ببیند یا حتی سیاتل، اینا همه ببینن، هر کدام ببینن، خلاصه عید برای ما هم خواهد بود. از جهت امید ما است که انشالله در 21 اپریل عید فطر خواهد بود. اینم گفتیم. یک ایمیل هم آمده بود که در این رابطه توضیح داده بود، ولی قانون تغییر نکرده، هنوزم به دیدن ماه هست. ولی چون امسال الحمدلله در کالیفرنیا او هلال ماه دیدنش ممکن هست، ما مشکلی نداریم، ولی کسایی که مثلا در نیویورک هستن در اون قسمت ها اونا باید منتظر باشن تا آره دیگه در شب جمعه ببینن چی میشه. ولی ما انشالله فکر میکنم احتمال 90% 21 عید خواهد بود و نصف رمضان هم رفت تا چشم هم زدیم، نصف این ماه مبارک رفت و انشالله که به فرموده پیغمبر خدایا اگر ما دعایی که در آخر شعبان میگفتیم که ان لم تغفر لنا، اگر تا الان ما را نیامرزیده ای از آنچه که باقی مانده است ما را بیامرز، همون دعا رو در رمضان میکنیم که خدایا اگر تا این روز در این 14مین روز این ماه مبارک رو پشت سر گذاشتیم، اگر ما را نیامرزیده ای بیامرز و مورد مغفرت و آمرزش خودت قرار بده به برکت صلوات بر محمد و آل محمد. اعوذ بالله من الشیطان الرجیم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. لا حول ولا قوة الا بالله العلی العظیم. الصلاة والسلام على اشرف الانبیاء والمرسلین حبیب الهنا وشفیع ذنوبنا وطبیب قلوبنا ابي القاسم المصطفى محمد. وعلى أهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين سيما بقية الله في السماوات والأراضين. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن الكريم ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه إن الله بالغ أمره قد جعل الله لكل شيء قدرا صدق الله العلي العظيم. اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Hastening in return of Imam of our time, may Allah help us to be among the followers of our Imam, the followers of the Quran, and the followers of our religion of Islam with the salawat ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Congratulations on the arrival of 15th of Ramadan, birth anniversary of our second Imam, one of the masters of the youth of paradise, the grandson of the Prophet, one of the Ahlul Kisa, one of the members of Mubahila, Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send His best peace and blessing upon the Prophet, upon his family, especially his beloved Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, for the honor of Imam al-Hassan and for the honor of the Prophet and his family. Recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Tomorrow, inshallah, tomorrow night, we will be celebrating the walad of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. The favorite part of Haji Farzad is coming back. We will have cake, inshallah, tomorrow night. But tonight is the night of the Wilada, so I would like to just mention that tomorrow is a day that Prophet was very happy, the birth of his first grandchild. And also one of the grandchildren that Prophet, as we mentioned before, if a Prophet praises someone or something, is not his personal opinion. A messenger of God does not speak based on his desires or his own opinion. What he says is what Allah confirmed, what Allah is in agreement with. Otherwise, Prophet will not say such a thing. And this is agreed upon by all Muslims, that Hassan and Hussein are the masters of the youth of paradise. Why we say this is important. When you say somebody is a paradise material person, for sure that person is a pious person. If Rasulullah said this person will go to heaven, It means that his way of life is the right way of life. Because we are asking Allah for what? We want heaven. Who doesn't want heaven? All of us, ultimately, we want to live a life that we end up in paradise, inshallah, in Jannah. And if someone already, Prophet says he's in Jannah, because Rasulullah is approving his character. And that's why this tradition been said that لَكَانَ الْعَقْلُ رَجُلًا لَكَانَ الْحَسَنِ. If aql and intellect could have been embodied in a human being. Imagine aql, we already talked about intellect, right? So if intellect could have been personified, it would have been Hassan alayhi salam, because he has all the signs of the one who utilizes his aql and intellect. So we leave inshallah tomorrow night to celebrate and learn from the life of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. Tonight we're going to talk about this ayah, and again this is another ayah of the Quran. Hopefully all of you pay attention. My dear brothers and sisters, I want to clarify one thing. At the early nights of Ramadan, I mentioned that the way we look at the Quran should not be as a book of science or a book of biology or any of those related subjects. That should not be taken as a a critique to Quran, God forbid. It's not that we try to put down Quran. Rather, what I meant was Quran is much more important than all those fields and subjects. Because those subjects, they help us to understand our surrounding. No biologist, no chemist can tell you this is how you're supposed to live. They say this is what we know. This is how body works. This is how the world functions. But religion is not about that. Religion is about teach us how to live. We're dealing with moment of confusion. And that's why Quran should be taken as a book of guidance. So when you look at GPS and we look at your Google map or any map that you use, I hope you're not using Apple Map unless you want to get lost. You don't, again, see that that app is explaining the climate of the earth or talk about ecology or any of that. They're giving you the point. This is the building, this is the jungle. Just get to the destination. This is where you want to go. Quran is taking us to our destination. It mentions that there is a tree, there are, stars, and there are other things. But the point is to know where to get in life. This book, Quran, is a light. Why we need light? Why Quran called Nur? Nur meaning light. Why? Because we need light when we are in darkness. We don't know where to go. When we are lost. Light provided guidance. Oh, I know what's going on. This is the way I'm supposed to go. So Quran is a book of guidance. So I did not say that to somebody interpret what I said. Oh, so it's not a book of biology. It's not a book of chemistry. It's not that. So it means it's something that we just kiss and we put it in our pocket or we keep a copy in our car and that's it. No, it's a book to be read. It's a book to go back to. And this is a place that whenever we have confusion is called Al-Furqan. Furqan meaning this is a criterion. Criterion means that it helps you to know right from wrong. Truth from falsehood. This is what it does. No biology or math book can do it. They understand how universe works, but nobody tells you this is right or wrong. That's why even when I listen to a lot of scientists, they're very scared to say what to do. So, I'm not saying what to do, but this is what science says. This is what is proven. But this book is not scared of that. Quran is not scared. It tells you this is it. This is how you're supposed to live. So pay attention to these two verses tonight. Surah Al-Talaq. Interestingly, there's a chapter about divorce. At-talaq is about divorce. This is how relevant and realistic this book is. It's not idealistic optimism that, oh, be happy and be nice, and if somebody slap you in one cheek, turn the other. It's not about non-realistic situations. It's to deal with reality. Yes, it is about forgiveness. It's about controlling your anger. But Allah said, there are moments that there is no way forward, and people are going to end up in separation, in divorce. So, at-talaq, there's a surah about it. There are rules that if you do it right. Even at the moment of separation, even when you decide to dissolve your marriage, make sure at that time to be just as well. Even at that time, follow the truth. Don't let, because I don't like this person, I don't want to live with them anymore. Again, for whatever reason, we ended up to decide that we're not suitable for each other anymore. Even at that time, Allah said, do the right thing. This is the right way. This is the guidance. So the surah is Surah Talaq, interestingly. But what Allah said in Surah Talaq, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ, that's verse 2 and 3 of Surah Talaq. وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Please pay attention. This is the word of Allah. This is Quran. This is not Shaykh Mudarris talking. وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Allah said, if you are pious, if you have taqwa, if you are God conscious, meaning when you make a decision, you remember God, you remember His judgment, you remember His justice. If you do that, مَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ. And I gave example in a divorce example. You can get away with a lie, but you remember Allah is watching, Allah is listening. I don't lie because Allah is watching. Yes, the court will take side with me. The police will agree with me if I lie. But Allah knows that's taqwa. That I decide to do the right thing because of Allah. Because I'm God conscious, I'm aware of God. What happens? People say, Shaykh, what if that person says that? They say the truth and they cannot see their children anymore. Is it okay if they lie? What if they say the truth, they end up losing their money and they will be poor and they will be homeless? So you're telling me to do the right thing even if it's going to cost me losing my family, all the hard work that I did? Allah answers that question. He said, if you do the right thing, man yattaqillah, if you're God conscious, yaj'al lahu makhraja, Allah will create a way out for you. A way out. Makhraj means escape route. So it shows that it means that if you do taqwa, sometimes you will be stuck. Because you did the right thing, you didn't make the money, you didn't get the deal, you didn't get the custody, you didn't get whatever it was, you lost something. Allah said, I don't let you to stay at that dead end forever. You will not be stuck in a dead end. I will create a pathway for you if you do the right thing. This is the promise of God. Be God conscious. I promise I'll give you a way out. وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ. I'll provide for you, I give you from a place that you don't even expect. It means I create a pathway. You call it luck. Oh, I got lucky. This happened because I was lucky. Allah said, no, I create a way out from a place that you didn't even expect. You don't even anticipate. When we read Surah Yusuf in Quran is the only chapter that from the beginning to end is about one prophet. It's about, of course, two prophets, Yaqub and Yusuf, but it's focusing on one story. If you look at other chapters, Allah talks about different stories. It's about Musa, it's about Adam, it's about multiple prophets in one chapter. But Surah Yusuf is the only chapter Allah only focuses on Yusuf. A to Z, everything. It gives us a complete story. And one thing about the Yusuf is interesting. Yusuf did the right thing. He didn't do anything wrong. He was himself. His brothers were jealous of him. They find an excuse. They took him away from his dad. And his own brothers threw him into a well, a dry well, to die. So this is somebody who's in a very dire situation. You are thrown into a dry well. So being dry meaning that nobody's going to come to get water. It's dry. And you're thrown into it by your own brothers. A place that is outside the village, is somewhere far away. So the chances of somebody passing by is very slim. But he didn't do anything wrong. Allah said, يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. I'll create a pathway for you. A caravan is passing by. They think that this well has water. Again, there's some opinion about it. But eventually they decide to go and check it out. And once they go, they find Yusuf in it. If that caravan would have taken a different route, they would have never find Yusuf. If it was a different caravan their destination was not Egypt, that he ended up becoming an advisor to the king and everything. Again, it could have ended up in a place that they use him as a slave for labor. But Allah said, we create a pathway. يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. And we should trust Allah in His wisdom. You do the right thing, even if it means it's going to cost you. That's taqwa, that's God consciousness. I am conscious of God. Everything I say, everything I do, no matter of the consequence. Look at the tradition, how complement the ayah beautifully. The ahadith, our tradition, the teachings of the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt, complements the Quran. What is the hadith? Narration is from Prophet. Prophet said, Atqa nas, who is the most virtuous of all people? Atqa, we have the one who is muttaqi, means the one who is God conscious. Atqa is the highest form. The most God conscious person you can imagine. Who is Atqa nas? Man qala al-haqqa fima lahu wa alayh. The one who says the truth, no matter if it's in his favor or against him. Lahu means sometimes the truth is for you. So it means it's in my advantage to say the truth. Sometimes is alay. It means the truth is on me. It's going to cost me. It's going to be a burden on me. That is the atqan nas. So put the Quran, put this hadith of the Prophet next to Imam Ali's saying. What Imam Ali said. Who are the muttaqeen? Mantiquhum as-sawab. The first sign of a pious is that their mantiq, their word is the truth. And what they say, they stand up for the truth. So Quran, Prophet, Ali alayhi salam, all say the same thing. They preach the same thing. And then Allah continued again, 2 and 3 of Surah Talaq. وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ. Allah will provide for you from the place you don't even expect. And then Allah continues saying, وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. If you have business, if you are looking for a job, if you're in college, remember this statement. وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. The one who trusts in Allah. They place their trust into Allah. They rely on Him. فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. Allah will be sufficient. Allah is enough. Allah is enough. If all people turn against you, if you have Allah is enough. So what do we mean by that? Allah is enough. When we talk about rizq, don't think about money. This is a confusion people have. Oh, you're telling me if I say the truth, I'm going to make money. So when this ayah was revealed, a group of Muslims stopped working. They stopped going to work. The Prophet heard about it, called them, said, what are you doing? He said, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. We heard that if you have taqwa, if you're pious, Allah will give you from a place you don't expect. So we stop working, we're trying to be pious, so Allah is going to send us a rizq. He's going to provide for us. Some kind of miracle is going to come, heavenly food. Some miraculous Zelle payment coming to your account, not doing from where it come from. Prophet said, no. The one who stopped working, the one who stopped seeking his rizq, seeking what Allah meant for him, lam yustajab lah. Allah will not answer his prayer. Go back to your work. Your rizq is already placed in, you have to seek it. This ayah doesn't mean to stop working. This ayah means don't do everything to make money. Don't sell yourselves, don't sell your iman, don't sell your religion to make money. Because there are moments that you do go to work and there is a moment you have to choose. You have a set of principles, and again, if you put them under your feet, if you ignore them, you make more. That is the moment. Remember, Allah says, if you don't do that, I'll provide for you. And rizq doesn't mean just money. Never translate rizq as wealth. Rizq means what we need. Whatever we need to be content, happy, that's rizq. Some rizq is health, is a rizq from Allah. To be healthy. That's a great rizq. That's why it's mustahab. In the month of Ramadan, they ask Prophet, what should we ask Allah for? What is the best dua to ask for? What Rasulullah said? Al-afiyah. Ask Allah for well-being. Afiyah means well-being. A holistic well-being. To be well. Physically, spiritually, family-wise, when it comes to your religion, everything you want it to be holistically well-being. Ask for that. Because sometimes you may miss it. Say, Allah, give me money, give me rizq, give me that. You may forget it. Say, Allahumma inni as'aluka al-afiyah fi umuri khayraha. If you don't remember the Arabic one, say the English one. Ya Allah, give me afiyah. Give me well-being. The other statement is, Allahumma inni as'aluka al-afwa wal-afiyah wal-mu'afata fi dunya wal-akhirah. I recited it in the sujood sometimes. It isn't for Ramadan. And outside Ramadan is of course recommended, but in Ramadan is highly recommended by Prophet. Oh Allah, I'm seeking you first forgiveness, afwa. Forgive me first. You don't owe me anything. I owe you a lot and I owe you an apology, so forgive me. And secondly, give me afiyah, give me well-being. So rizq could be in health. Rizq is about our spiritual rizq. If you are able to fast, the moment you come and join the Jama'at, Maghrib Jama'at, this is the rizq that Allah give you. You did something good that Allah wanted you to do your namaz in Jama'ah, your salat and prayer in Jama'ah. Not everybody can do it. Something happens, right? Something. I don't feel well, I feel, fatigued. I don't go to Jama'ah. I miss a Jama'ah. Again, the tradition, when there are one line of Jama'ah, one line of congregation prayer, Allah sends a rank of angels to pray in the second rank, and the thawab of those angels' worship goes to the one who are in Jama'ah. When there is a second line, Allah multiplied by 2, so twice as much. So 4 lines of angel pray, and the thawab goes to the people who are in Jama'ah. If there are 3 lines or more, only Allah knows how much thawab you get. This is tradition, Prophet's tradition, Jama'at thawab. People used to run to get to Jama'ah because it's a rizq. And I lost that rizq. If I have it, I did something, and Allah give me that rizq. rizq of being able to do good, to give even zakat, sadaqah, charity, all these are rizq. And then of course is come to our financial needs. Remember, you could have a lot of money and be miserable. That's true. There are so many examples in real life that testify to that. Money can make your life very comfortable, for sure. But one thing that money cannot guarantee is for your life to be well. You will be comfortable, but you cannot say money guarantees that I will enjoy it. No. Money is a good tool. There are people who have the money and they feel miserable. It's interesting that many people who inherit a lot of wealth, you can see them on social media, those who sell their companies for millions of dollars. Suddenly, overnight, because of, I don't know, crypto or because of they sold their company to some big corporation, suddenly they're a millionaire. They spend a lot of money on partying, buying yachts and private jets and all that. And then you see they post on Twitter or some platform that, you know, some days I wake up and I say, what's the point? I have everything. What should I do even? What should I do? Because I used to do work to get money. Now I have it. I have enough for the rest of my life. What am I going to do? So the ambition is gone. The motivation is gone. The purpose is gone. So rizq comes in different shapes and form. And Allah said, if you trust in me, I will be enough for you. If you trust me. وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَالِغُ أَمْرِهِ. Allah indeed makes sure His decree will take place. Whatever Allah plans is going to happen. Nothing can stop it if He decides. It's interesting, they changed the word God with universe. I was listening to this entrepreneur and he was saying, you know, you should plan out what you want to do with your life, what you want to do with your business, but don't expect for the universe to follow your plan. So be ready for the universe to go against you. They call it universe. For us, universe is a creation. Again, if you look at it from the outside, is an unintelligent system. Is something that is providing a certain cycle, but at the end of the day, what is universe? You're talking about these planets that they crash to each other all the time, and the stars and galaxies that they're done. What are we talking about? What is universe? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one, we call Him Alimun, Khabirun, Qadirun. He is aware, He is knowing, He is powerful. He has that. So that is the truth. We should do what we're supposed to do. But remember, there are things out of our control. Man plans, God laughs. We plan, but Allah does His own thing. Not that, again, this is not a tradition, as a saying in English. Meaning that when you plan, you do plan. But know that not everything is going to go according to plan. You know who are the worst people to travel with? Who are the worst people to travel with? You may say people who are very messy, unorganized. They are bad to travel with. I'm not saying they're good. But worse than those are people that they plan everything up to minutes. Those who, in their trip, from the 24 hours, okay, I'm going to wake up from this time to this, 30 minutes for breakfast, and from this time to this time, we're going to for after breakfast walk, and then at this time, we're going to visit this museum. And because what happens if something doesn't happen for whatever reason, they lose their mind. The entire day, they're miserable. Oh, we didn't do it. Something happened. Sometimes, again, it doesn't happen because you're messy. I get that. They have rights to be frustrated with you if you cause their schedule to fall apart. But sometimes it's not your fault. They plan everything and they go and it's a rainy day. You cannot go. What are you going to do? You're going to be miserable? You planned it, yes. In your mind, it's going to be a sunny day. But you go and it's not. I'm going to let that affect me? Or no, I'm going to learn how to deal with it, how to adapt. You plan, but remember, the planning doesn't mean the world is going to follow your plan. Sometimes the world does its own thing. That's why there's some people, they're walking in the middle of the night and they're planning to get some water. And accidentally they, how many of you have that experience that you hit your toes to the corner of the bed? And then at that moment, because the plan is, I don't want that, right? That happened. It was out of my prediction. I tried to be careful. And some of them, I remember people that they talk about that 3 days later. Last 3 nights ago, this happened to me. Let it go. It's not their fault. They cannot let it, even if they want to. Because they think everything is in their control. Our control is to plan. Is to plan and is to decide to do it. But remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, inna Allah baligh wa amri. They are muqaddarat. That's why the ending of the ayah is, beautifully Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَدْ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدْرًا. Indeed, Allah made a measurement for everything. لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدْرًا. The night of Qadr is coming. Remember this ayah. لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ. لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ in Arabic means for everything. For everything there is a qadr. There is a measurement. There is an amount. There is an ordainment. Nothing in this dunya is without His plan. Nothing. So when that happens, remember, if I trust Him, that again, if I lost this money and I couldn't do anything about it, it wasn't my fault. It was not my fault. Trust Him. يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. That would be enough for you. But if I say no, why I did this, I should have been more careful, I should have done that. That's why Quran says, لَا تَأْسَوْا عَلَى مَا فَاتَكُمْ. Stop being regretful over what you lost. What you lost, you lost. مَا فَاتَكُمْ. You missed it, you missed it. وَلَا تَفْرَحُوا بِمَا آتَاكُمْ. And don't be overjoyed with what you gain either. Nothing is as permanent as you think it is. It comes and leaves. That's why now I've seen people, today is a good hair day and bad hair day. And why? Good hair day and bad, is that something to be upset or to let affect my day? Sometimes there are something, you have it and sometimes you don't. Expectation could be the greatest enemy of joy. I go to masjid, I expect tonight's masjid food to be this. I want this on the side. I hope that they are serving, some good soda on the side and we can enjoy that cold Coke next. Why? Then if there's anything else beside that, your expectation is going to ruin it for you. So, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Give it a try. Make a sacrifice because of taqwa. Say the truth when it costs you, when it's against you, and then wait for the blessing to come. Wait for it. Allah said, I'll make you a pathway, a way out. You will not be stuck. Or you can lie, you can cheat your way to success, and then you get stuck there once you're there. Now what? Now I have the money, now I have that. What should I do now? Then you get to the dead end because you sacrificed the taqwa. May Allah, by the honor of the Prophet Ahlul Bayt, grant all of us God consciousness, taqwa, piety, and virtue. And may Allah help us to be among those who are promoters of the truth, those who uphold the truth, even if it's bitter, even if it's against us, inshallah. Let's everybody stand up. We finish with the ziyarah. وعجل اللهم في فرج مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك يا رسول الله يا نبي الله يا خير خلق الله يا خاتم النبيين. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليكم أيها الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة أجمعين. السلام على علي بن الحسين زين العابدين. السلام على محمد بن علي الباقر. السلام على جعفر بن محمد الصادق. السلام على موسى بن جعفر الكاظم. السلام على علي بن موسى الرضا. السلام على محمد بن علي التقي الجواد. السلام على علي بن محمد الهادي النقي. السلام على حسن بن علي العسكري. السلام عليك يا صاحب الزمان، يا خليفة الرحمن، يا إمام الإنس والجان. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. صدق الله العلي العظيم. For the shifa of all the marid, especially for our Sister Siddiqa Ahmad and all the other marids who requested dua, please recite Surah Fatiha for the shifa and salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
الأخير الأول الآخر الظاهر الباطن الوالي المتعالي البر التواب المنتقم العفو الرؤوف مالك الملك ذو الجلال والإكرام المقسط الجامع الغني المغني المانع اللهم صل أفضل صلاة على أسعد مخلوقاتك سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم عدد معلوماتك ومداد كلماتك كلما ذكرك الذاكرون وغفل عن ذكره الغافلون. أسألك يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق